Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be hopefully finishing off this Boho Journal because it's almost at bursting point and I don't think I can get much more in it. So I think we're going to try and finish this off today and then move on. So I have done a little bit of preparatory work behind the scenes, not an awful lot, but I have I think these were finished, weren't they? Yes, they were finished. That's all been done. So these ones, all I've done in this little pocket here, because we didn't have anything to go in this pocket, and these shapes, I'm not quite sure what they're meant to be. Some of them are just got lines on, so they look like little journaling spots. So I just thought one of these would be, I backed it, would just pop in there. And that was a nice simple way to finish that off. I haven't embellished it because it doesn't need it and there's no room anyway. And I realised I had this piece, which was when we did those that bit of work with the Tim Holtz crayons and the stamps and all of that stuff and the sprays. I had this piece left which I thought would make a nice tag or something like that. It's not long enough to make a belly, well, it's almost long enough to make a belly band, but I already had one, so I didn't think I needed a new one, though now I'm seeing it. No, I don't need anything more. So I thought I could just pop it behind here. Let's see which way up looks best. Maybe that way up would be nice. It's a bit more interesting. I don't know though. I quite like this way. So all I want to do with this one, just move this aside a little bit, is round the corners. I'm not going to make it a tag shape. No, I think I just want to round the corners on this one. I don't know why, but that's what I feel it needs. It's just such a long piece that I just feel it's too long and narrow to be a tag. I don't know. I don't suppose it matters. I'm sure there's no rules on this, but I feel like it should be just a... It could be used as a bookmark, which would be an option. It's just the perfect shape to be a bookmark. But of course I do feel like it needed a little something to embellish it, so I pulled out my little gold flowers. I didn't want anything too bulky, and I thought maybe if I just pop that down the middle, that would be enough embellishment. And I quite like it, and I like these. I wanted to use them. So let's make sure, I think I've got them around the right way. Yes, these ones are a bit scrunched up, so I'm going to have to try and smooth them out as I go. Let's see if we can get the Fabri-Tac to work. Well, it does seem to be today. Make sure they're all stuck down. Okay. Right, so we're going to just put that behind here because I quite like the gold, bringing in the gold and the trim. So that can go in like that. I added a little piece of, I had this little tiny piece of ruffle, it was about this long, from some of the painted fabric that I had, or sprayed fabrics. So I've cut a piece off and put one on there. I've gotten one in another place as well. That's all finished. Seeing all that. And yep, they're all done. I have decorated these two pockets. As you can see, I've done a piece of the baby wipe, picked out the colours that go with the tag. So the tag was just a little bit floral with a bit of lace on the side already, just in the decoration. So I've just picked out a couple of these images that went with the background and then backed them onto the baby wipes that I've been using all the way through, and a bit more baby wipe as toppers. And then each of them I've got a little Tim Holtz label. So one says I dream of stars that glitter, and this one is your charming smile. So that's what I put on those two. I think they look rather nice in there. This I think you'd already seen. Right, so I needed to fill these pockets. So I've got 3 pockets here. So this one I'm going to put behind. I think I had already discovered that. So I've been trying to find something to go in there, and I've got a few bits pulled out, but I thought perhaps, because this was all glued down, so I had to pull that up because it's in a funny, really awkward position, this one was. So I thought, I don't know what to do with it really. So I pulled it up so I could tuck something behind it, and I've cut this out. I had a much bigger, she was a much bigger image, a really long image, so I cut round just the top part to make the head. So I want to tuck her in there like that, and then I felt like it needed something behind it, which I'm not sure. Oh yes, here we are. Oh, I thought perhaps a piece of this fabric here just tucked behind would look quite nice, otherwise it looks a bit too busy. And then I was thinking about some flowers, but I wasn't quite sure how they'd look. Something floral there maybe. I'm trying to find a colour that would go. I think this is the same one but slightly bigger, which is too big. I think that's too big. So I think I'll either put a word here, or a phrase or something, or I'll put the flower, I'm not sure. So I think I'll start with putting this piece of fabric down with the little sequins on, because I've used it quite a lot, and there's some of that material in the cluster I used on the pockets, so it kind of pulls them together. So I might just trim that a little bit, because I'd like it to be inside the stitching. I did do the stitching off camera, of course. Thought if I get that stitched around, and then I've just got to add something in the middle. Okay, so that's that. And then I think she's rather nice on there, so I'm going to stick her on. Right, there we go. Sure she's facing the right way. Okay. I better glue this back down again, hadn't I? I think I'll have to use the Fabri-Tac for this. Stick it down, pulled it up, stick it down again. Okay. Now let's see, I need to possibly do a little inking on this flower, see if it will look any good. Or I'll look for a Tim Holt word to go on it. Now, how will that look? Over there. Because she's got some flowers here. I know they're daisies. And this is a rose, but there's also some roses in the paper in the background. So I'm going with the rose look. I wonder if that will tuck under here. Yeah, no, I would have just stuck them down. I might be able to just tuck them under there a little bit. Okay, I think I might just go with that. I'm wondering. Yeah, okay. We'll go with it. There. Okay. Dry wipe here. Does that need more gluing? I think that needs a little bit more gluing there because it's just going onto the stitching. And I'll just trim off that little piece. I also backed it, as you can see, because this was part of the masterboard that I did onto scrapbook paper, so I've had to back it before I sewed it. So that's that one done, and that's going to go. So that will go in here like that. I like that. I did have another tag in here, but I decided I wasn't keen on it where it was. So I picked out this one instead. So I think, so that's going to go, no, that's going to go in here. But I had this idea that I got one of these little tags. I haven't actually fixed this eyelet in it. I've just poked it through to see how it looked. With a piece of antique lace. I think it's antique, it's very old. And I thought perhaps it would be quite nice, possibly, to attach it there. I'm just wondering, I was going to put a picture on, but I'm now not so sure. Of a lady, I think. The only other thing I could think might go on there. Don't know whether to put the eyelet through the two. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, and then I might add something extra afterwards. So I've got this wax seal, which I thought I could also dangle from. I've got a bowl pin to go on there. Well, let's just try this. I'm going to attach these together. It's just a bit of a an evolving idea, but I'm not sure if it's going to end up being too much. It might be just easier to keep it simple. Just wondered if the eyelet would catch, but it has. It's caught right through the both tags. And all I did was I looped the put the lace over the hole so that it would catch that as well. Right, so then I was going to use a bulb pin. So maybe I should have put the bulb pin through the second tag, I don't know. Not really done this sort of thing very much. See if I can find. So I wondered if I put something through here, will that go through? Is this going to be too big now? No. And I could hang something from, yeah, I quite like the idea of maybe hanging the little wax seal from the bulb pin. So I need my big bite again. It's time to make a smaller hole, the 1/8 hole in my wax seal. In that place. I had another thought as well, which I might also try. Where are they? Got my little circles that I did a while ago. They've been backed onto some cardstock, like some chipboard circles, and then embossed using the circles from a variety of things. But I have a kit from Shabba Dabba Doodle. I thought that also might work, but I think it might be a bit thick. This is thinner, I think. Maybe not in this position, as we've got so many bulky things going on in this journal already. And I just like the colour of the wax seal in this particular position. So I've got to get the wax seal on there like that. Get this back through here. See if I can do it up. There we are. And then we've got a little dangly. And then it goes back in the book. It'll go here. Yeah, I think I like that because then you can see the pretty pattern in the lace as well, which is really lovely. Rather than covering that up, which I was originally thinking of doing. And that goes on like that. And then we've got to put something in this pocket as well. So I had a piece of this painted cardstock. I think I must have cut it off when I was making something. I had an odd piece left, so I wondered if that would go. Just move this out of the way. That might go in here. I'm trying to remember what my thought process was with this, but I think it was. Oh, I've got some more flowers there. I wanted to put this lady in. I think that was the idea. I wanted to just put her in just as she is, like that. But I felt she needed a slight backing. So I thought if I put her on there, like that, and then put her in, she's got a little bit more, she's a bit more sturdy. She's rather beautiful. Yeah, I just want to put her in like that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm wondering if, I think I'll round her corners, but not the corners of the background. Oops. So I'm just going to glue her onto that background. Oops. So it's just peeking out around the outside. But not too much. I always struggle to get things on straight. And with an even border, especially when the border is really, really small like this one. Bring it up a little bit. Okay. I think I'm going to have to commit, otherwise it just won't glue at all. There we are. And she's beautiful. Right, so let's just wipe this. Okay, where are we? There we go. So I'm going to pop her in here, and then this will just pop down like that. And that's that pocket finished. Let's move on to the next thing. And here's the other piece of that little ruffle that I had, which I thought that would look quite nice on here, just as a flip out. I had considered putting a pocket here, but I think it's just going to be too much. I think this journal is bulky enough. So she's in there. Right, we have another pocket to finish. So this was the one I had in the previous pocket, and I put it in here instead. And I've also added in this little pocket here at the front, I've added another one of these, so it all goes well together, but I wanted something to go behind here. So you can probably see what I chose, but I've got this piece, again, this is the piece from the masterboard. So I have decided, I've been wanting to use this image right from the beginning because it's the only one I had that was coloured in, and the perfect colours, they're beautiful. But I thought it would disappear a little bit on there, so I've just cut out another piece of the baby wipe with all the colours in, and then when you back her onto that, in fact I think I want it the other way up. Back her onto there, and she shows up lovely. So I'll do my usual around the corners. Just wondering if it needs anything else. Because it's got quite a busy background, so I don't know if it needs anything else. Maybe a little bit of lace would be quite nice. What have I got? A piece of this, maybe under here would be quite pretty, under there. Yeah. And I always find I'm decorating this bottom left hand corner and it's always the place that's actually going to be inside the pocket, which makes no sense really, does it? Maybe I should try and put it somewhere else where it'll actually be visible. maybe if I put it there, would that look okay? There, and I would like maybe a little something flashed into my mind and then went again. Oh yes, I know, another one of those gold flowers, either the little one, I've got little ones and I've got big ones. I have more options. I've got little, let's see how that looks anyway. Actually, that's quite nice. Maybe I just need to put a little something in the middle. So I won't even bother getting these ones out. I quite like that as it is. See if I can find something to go in the middle. Got some little flat back pearls here, so maybe I can find one. What colour do I need? Let's see if it's a bit, sticks up an awful lot. Maybe this one, it's a bit smaller. Got those. Let's see if I've got anything else. I have those. And those. And those. They're not quite as shiny, but I'm not sure if I've got any small enough. Those are all quite big ones, or some of them are. This one, this is a very, very pale turquoisey colour. It's possibly not quite big enough. Got that. That might be quite nice. Oh, I have some that are a bit more sparkly. I think they're too big. Okay, I think I might go with that one. Okay, so that's quite... Now I've just got to try and remember now which way. Let's have a look, see which way it's going to go in the pocket. Make sure I put it on the right corner. And that goes with that, I think. Yep. You've got to go back in the box. Let's just check which way this is going in the pocket, shall we? So if it's going in this way, well, quite a lot of that will disappear, but actually I still like it. So we'll do that. Right, let's take these bits away. This has got to go on first. I want it sticking out just a little bit so that you can see it poking out the pocket. Like that. And then we'll put might be easier to put the glue on the book. Figure out roughly where it's going to go. right. I've got the width right as well. It's about right. Can always add more afterwards. Is the right way up? Yeah, I think so. There we are. And the little lovely image of the beautiful girl. Right. And this needs to go on here. To make sure I go the right way round. Don't know if it makes any odds. I think that's right. So let's get some glue on. That on there. A nice big blob in the middle. The pearl was attached herself to my finger, which is quite handy, means I didn't lose it. Because it did have some adhesive on the back, but not really good enough to hold it on here. Right, so that's that one. And where are we? There we go. So she's going to pop behind here, like that. And I've got this one in here. And I just wanted to put one more little tag from the kit. Again, it's been backed with some scrapbook paper, and I thought that would just pop in there, and I just tied a little piece of this netting that I've used here and there throughout the journal behind it, but I just felt it was a bit plain, of course. So I found another little image. This is one of the Moocher ones, which I printed off really small. I think I had this in about 3 different sizes, and this is the one that I thought fitted quite nicely. I had to cut it down a bit, I think, so I might just ink it around the bottom, because I had to cut off the rest of the frame to fit it on, but you'd never know. And then that's just going to go on there. And we might almost be there, I think. Not sure if there's anything else needs finishing off. Oh, I do need to add my pen holder. Find a spot for that, and I have to do my closure. And I have an idea for that too. Straighten you up. Okay. So that will just pop in there. And I think that's the last thing, because I've done, this pocket's done. I'm not going to have pockets on the covers, on the inside of the covers, just because it doesn't need it, because it's plentiful, full enough. Look how fat that is now. Right, so 2 more things. First, find a spot for my pen holder. I did make 2, but I think I want to use this one with the feathers and the image and everything on it. But this is really pretty as well, but you could use that anyway. So I think it needs to be possibly at the beginning of the book. Right there. Yeah, I think I'll just put it there. So the last thing is to do our closure. And I think what I would like to do, I'm hoping it'll work. If I tied it, if I put a hole each side, so I could tie it in the middle. That's what I would like to do. So I think I'm going to have to I'll do one. Well, I'll measure it and then I'll hopefully get them both lined up reasonably well. So the cover is 9 inches, so we want to mark it at 4.5. I think I'm going to use a pen so that it shows, but it needs to be quite near the edge. So 4.5 is about here. So I think I might just do it about here. Or I should do it. So the easiest thing is going to be to do it going this way. I think it'll be okay to do it this way, because by the time you put the eyelet in, it'll cover it up, any raggedy edge. Now, can I see the hook? I see the mark? Yes, I can. When the little thing comes down, is it going over it? I might just bring it in just a touch more. And it's so close to the edge that it tears it. Okay, that worked. And I'm going to have to turn it the other way to do the eyelet, aren't I? That's going to be interesting. Let's see. Let's try it. Turn it up this way, because I want the eyelet clearly to be on the outside. And I think I'm going to use a big one. Which colour? It'll have to be gold, won't it? Has to be gold. Use one each side, so I need 2. Put that through there. Right. Going in. Let me see if it's going through the hole. Not quite. Not quite lined up. Okay, I think that's worked. Yes, it has. Alright, let's do the other end, the other side. Okay, you can come out for now. And we'll measure it again. What do I do with my ruler? Here it is. To 4.5. 4.5. There. Punch the hole once more, try and get it lined up again. Okey-doke. And then we just turn him over. One's gone a bit more raggedy, but it won't show once I put the eyelet on. I quite like this way of doing the closures because then it doesn't cover up anything, any decorative things on the cover. Okay. I'll get this lined up now. Just got to try and see the little bit that's coming down. I think it's there. Feels like it's catching. We'll see, won't we? Yes, it has. Jolly good. I always have my doubts when that's whether that's going to catch or not. Right, so what I want to use, and I don't know if it's going to work, to bring the two pieces together, is more of the netting. Because it's so fine, it's very easy to scrunch up in and tie into a bow. And I thought it might make us be a bit different. So, and I haven't got any sari silk that's quite the right colour. I have got some I could use, but I just thought it'd be nice to use this instead. So I just need my scissors. And just cut about an inch. It's quite raggedy on the other side, but I don't think that's really going to show very much once it's all bunched up in the eyelet. If it does, I'll cut another piece. Don't imagine this is very straight, but I don't think that matters either. So let's see if it works on one side, then I can do it on the other. Okay. I think what I need to do is try and do a knot at the end, so it doesn't pull back through the eyelet. This is probably going to be the most challenging part of the whole exercise, is doing the knot. Sorry if I'm off camera. Knot tying is not my forte, but I think I might have managed it. Don't know if it's big enough though. I may have to do a double knot. No, it's just gone straight through, isn't it? Okay, let's do another one. This may not work. Because it's so thin, it goes into nothing. Well, maybe it'll hold. Okay, we'll do that. Leave it at that. I might do another knot later. Okay, so is this going to be long enough? I think it will. Let's do one for the other side. This piece of netting, it was on a skirt I had. It was underneath an 80s style kind of rah-rah skirt I had when we had an 80s night at work a few years ago now. It's part of it was our Christmas do. We did it in 80s style, so we were all wearing these little skirts, and I just thought I'm going to keep the the netting underneath. I just thought it might come in handy, and I've used it quite a lot. I used it on my fairy journal. Possibly, I can't remember where else I've used it, but I've used it quite a bit. So I've still got quite a bit left, because there was about 3 layers of it making the skirt stick out. But I've not used it as a closure before. Nope, that's the wrong one. Let's see if I can... No, I'm going to have to turn it around, because being left-handed, I need to feed it through with my left hand. This one doesn't want to cooperate, so I'm just going to use my little tweezers to poke it through. There we are. Let's tie my knot. A double knot it needs to be. No, that's not worked, because it's not got... I've got 2 separate single knots now, so I need to bring the 2 together into a nice big fat knot. There we go. That should do it. There we go. Right. Let's try it, shall we? Let's put this back in here. Right. I'm hoping this is going to be strong enough. Let's pull it all together. Okay, it's actually quite long, longer than it needs to be. Actually, I'm not sure I like the raggedy end, so I might do a different one on the one that's got the raggedy side, which I think is the back one. I may cut another one off for that. But you can see the idea. So big bow with the netting, pulls it all together, not too bad. I may have to play around with it a little bit to get it perfect, or how I'm happy with it, but at least I think we're done now. I've got a little bit of trimming off to do with some of these bits. All the fabrics are fraying like mad, but actually I quite like the frayed look. I may just trim it down a little bit, tidy it up a little bit. But there we are. That's our Boho Journal all done. I may do a flip through at some point in the future, just to remind you of what it looks like, right, start from finish. But in the last few minutes I've got in this video, I was just thought I might show you a little sneak peek of the wedding folio that I'm making for my daughter. I did promise you I'd just show you the odd peak as I make it, and I have made a start, but I haven't got very far, so it won't take very long. But I think I'll just show you how far I've got and what I've done so far. Right, so here it is so far. So the outside has been finished, more or less. I've probably got to do a bit more decoration. I may well put some lace on this spine as well. I've just got this little bit of lace trim along here. I might put some pearls up here. I haven't quite decided yet. So the image here, so it's all held down by magnets. This is from the Liana scrap kit that I'm using. So I did it in 2 directions. I haven't stuck the other side on yet. That's still to be done. But it's cut, ready to go. So that will be the same image on the other side. And then the rest of it is being using the the ceremony scrapbook pad by Stamperia. So that's this one, and that's the back, which I think is a beautiful piece of card there. And there's the spine, and then the inside is the same piece. So I didn't quite have enough of this particular paper to do all 3 of the spines, so I just used a little bit of fairly plain paper from the same pad for the other 2 bigger spines, because certainly this one will probably get covered up with lace anyway. So all I've got to do now is make a start on the inside. I've got to cover all this, and I've got to do all the flips and flaps and flops and whatever, and add envelopes and make it. So it'll take me a little while to put it all together, but I thought you might just like to see the general look as it is at the moment, and lots more to come. So I'll do another sneak peek when I've made a bit of progress. So that's it for today. So that's that, and our Boho Journal all finished. Well, apart from a bit of tidying up. I'm going to get another piece of netting. I've decided I don't like this scraggly edge. It doesn't work for me, so I'm just going to cut another piece off so it looks a bit better. But then that's it. I'm all done, and I will be doing possibly a few bits of random crafting in between finishing off my Roxy Creations journal, which I've still got a bit of work to do in that one. Don't really know quite what I've got another big project in my mind. I haven't at the moment. I've got 1 or 2 ideas. Let's see how things go. So I'm not sure what you'll see next, but it'll probably be something a bit more random. I'll probably have a little bit of a break, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.